Hello, dear viewers. Today, we're going to take a closer look at the behaviors of some people around us. Are there people in your life who just use you and disregard your feelings? By watching this video until the end, you will learn how to recognize such individuals and how to cope with them. Stoicism offers the key to dealing with these challenging situations. In this video, we will thoroughly examine the 8 typical attitudes of those who use and disregard you. Each one will provide an in-depth perspective to help you understand how to deal with difficult people you may encounter in your life. This information will equip you with the tools necessary to stand firm and conscious in your daily relationships. If you want to build healthier relationships around you, this video is just for you. Remember, every new piece of knowledge takes you one step further. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Now, let's delve deeper into this important subject. Are you ready for tips and solutions regarding the attitudes of someone who just uses and disregards you? Then continue watching our video and discover how you can apply this knowledge to your life. Section 1. The Mask of Indifference. In our lives, we sometimes miss the true feelings hidden beneath the surface friendships and kind appearances of some people. In this first section, we will analyze the mask of indifference displayed by those who genuinely do not care about us. Indifference often reveals itself in small details that might seem negligible, such as forgetting your important days, not being there during your troubles, or constantly getting distracted while listening to you. The first step is to recognize these types of behaviors and not to take them personally. Stoicism teaches that external factors should not directly affect our inner world. If someone is indifferent towards you, you should not allow it to determine your value or who you are. This is a way to maintain your self-esteem and sustain your emotional independence. The next step is determining how to cope with this indifference. You can establish open communication with the person and express your feelings honestly. However, it's important to accept that you cannot change their behavior and ultimately, their actions are their own responsibility. This is where Stoicism comes into play. Focus on what you can control, namely your own reactions and emotions. Finally, you have the power to choose how you interact with indifferent people around you. If a relationship is harming you and consistently makes you feel negative, you are not obliged to stay. Your own mental health and emotional well-being should always be a priority. You can enrich your life by minimizing interactions with indifferent people and sharing your energy with those who value you. The topics we discussed in this section provide information that will help you maintain a conscious and firm stance against indifference you may encounter in everyday life. Each of us is the architect of our own emotional and mental health, and Stoic philosophy helps us build this structure on solid foundations. Section 2. Superficial friendships. Throughout our lives, we encounter people who pursue only superficial interests, often masquerading as friends. In this section, we will discuss how to recognize interest-driven relationships and how Stoicism can help us overcome these types of interactions. Superficial friendships typically appear in situations where the relationship is imbalanced, with one side consistently attempting to use the other. These individuals usually contact you only when it suits their needs and are absent in times of real crisis. That's why it's crucial to evaluate your relationships and discern which friendships are genuine and which are merely superficial. Stoicism guides us in managing our emotional attachments. To distinguish true friendships from superficial ones, it's useful to assess the reciprocity within the relationship. If a friendship consistently drains you without offering anything in return, it's a sign that the relationship is unhealthy. Setting healthy boundaries in one-sided relationships is a fundamental principle of Stoic philosophy. These boundaries help protect your personal values and allow you to use your emotional energy more efficiently. They shield you from people who only wish to take advantage of you and aid in forming more meaningful connections with those who truly value you. In conclusion, being cautious in evaluating every relationship and focusing on those that offer mutual respect and support is vital for both your emotional and mental health. By distinguishing superficial friendships from real ones, you can fill your life with more authentic and meaningful relationships. Section 3. Manipulative behaviors. In this section, we will explore the often encountered manipulative behaviors around us and how we can recognize and overcome them using a Stoic perspective. Manipulation is a form of communication where one individual attempts to direct others towards their own interests through emotional or mental pressure. These behaviors frequently result in the violation of personal boundaries and complicate the maintenance of healthy relationships. A manipulative person typically tries to control you by inducing guilt through praise or criticism. These tactics are designed to leave the counterpart vulnerable, making them exhibit the desired behavior. For instance, they might continuously speak in a manner that makes you feel inadequate, thus pushing you to exert more effort. In Stoicism, the way to stand against such manipulative attempts starts with being aware of our own emotional responses. Recognizing and managing our emotional reactions prevents manipulative behaviors from affecting us. Realizing the power within our internal world empowers us to resist external manipulative influences. The next step is to establish open and honest communication by addressing manipulative behaviors. This involves clearly identifying the other person's actions and expressing how those actions make you feel. Additionally, setting clear boundaries when encountering such situations and firmly adhering to these boundaries supports your effort to sustain healthy relationships. Lastly, when interacting with manipulative individuals, it is essential to remain patient and controlled, grounded in Stoic principles. Staying calm and measured in your response can steer the situation towards a healthier direction. Remember, manipulation can only be neutralized through clear boundaries and solid self-awareness. Section 4. Emotional exploitation. In this section, we explore another challenge we may encounter in relationships: emotional exploitation. Emotional exploitation occurs when one person uses and manipulates another's feelings for their own benefit. Such behaviors can create deep wounds in relationships and lead to trust issues. Emotional exploitation often manifests as the other person constantly demanding emotional support from you while remaining insensitive to your emotional needs. For instance, they might leave you alone during your tough times or continually criticize you, making you feel worthless. Stoicism offers us the key to coping with emotional exploitation: emotional autonomy. This means maintaining your own emotional independence and not allowing others to establish emotional dominance over you. Managing your emotional state and not prioritizing someone else's emotional needs over your own health is essential for setting healthy boundaries. To tackle this issue, it is crucial to communicate openly and clearly with the person. Explaining the impact of their behavior on you and declaring it unacceptable can help shift your relationship onto healthier ground. Additionally, it is important to clearly define your boundaries with people who exhibit these behaviors and to maintain those boundaries. Lastly, the most effective defense against emotional exploitation is adhering to your personal values. Acting in alignment with your own values and needs helps you resist others' emotional manipulations. Remember, healthy relationships are built on mutual respect and support. Developing and maintaining such relationships is a fundamental step for both your emotional and mental health. Section 5. Hypocrisy and deception. In this section, we will address hypocrisy and deception, common issues we may encounter in relationships. Hypocrisy involves a person concealing their true intentions and emotions, adopting different personas to suit their interests. Such behaviors can undermine trust and weaken relationships. Hypocritical individuals often appear well-intentioned towards you while disparaging you behind your back or lying to manipulate you. Recognizing the true faces of such people is one of the greatest challenges in your relationships. Hypocrisy, especially when displayed by those you trust, can lead to profound disappointments. Stoic philosophy provides ways to cope with these situations. First, controlling our emotional reactions is critical to dealing with hypocrisy. By maintaining our emotional balance and thinking logically, we can more clearly see others' true intentions. One way to address hypocrisy you encounter in relationships is to express your suspicions openly if you have any. Establishing honest dialogue to clear up uncertainties in your relationship is essential for its health. This also compels those who are dishonest with you to reveal their true intentions. Lastly, limiting your interactions with hypocritical people can be a way to protect your emotional health. By being mindful of whom you spend time with and whom you trust, you can build healthier and more meaningful relationships. By eliminating deceit and hypocrisy from your life, you can safeguard your values and lead a more authentic existence. Section 6. The gap between words and actions. In this section, we will explore the behaviors of people whose actions contradict their words. Such behaviors can lead to trust issues and create deep wounds in relationships. The discrepancy between true intentions and stated intentions can significantly impact the health of relationships over time. People might sometimes be sincere when expressing their good intentions, but their actions may not align with these intentions. For example, they may constantly express their support, yet be absent during your tough times. These contradictions can generate doubt and disappointment among individuals in a relationship. Stoicism places great importance on the consistency between words and actions. As a Stoic, focusing on others' actions rather than their words and observing the reality of these actions is crucial. This approach helps prevent disappointments and aids in identifying truly trustworthy individuals. When faced with such situations, establishing open and honest dialogue with the person is important. Clearly expressing expectations in the relationship helps both parties understand what is valued and which actions are acceptable. Open communication reduces misunderstandings and lays a solid foundation for both sides to meet their expectations. Lastly, if there is a consistent discrepancy between someone's actions and their words, it is important to reassess the relationship and possibly invest less in it. Protecting your emotional health and focusing on healthier relationships is critical for maintaining a happier and more fulfilling life in the long run. Section 7. Constant criticism and judgment. In this section, we address a common issue in relationships: constant criticism and judgment. These behaviors create tension between individuals and hinder the healthy development of relationships. Those who are continually criticized often find themselves in a perpetual state of defense, which can lead to a lack of self-confidence. The harm of criticism and judgment becomes particularly evident when criticisms turn into personal attacks or demeaning comments. This type of communication damages respect and trust within the relationship, while criticism, when constructive and kindly delivered, can contribute positively to relationships. Persistent and destructive criticism can poison them. Stoicism teaches us how to stand up against such criticisms. With a Stoic approach, instead of being vulnerable to criticisms, we can assess them objectively and see them as opportunities for personal growth. This involves not taking criticisms personally and using them to foster development. To cope with this situation, it's important to establish open and honest communication with the other person, expressing how the criticisms make you feel. Also, when interacting with someone who is constantly critical, it's crucial to set your own emotional boundaries and adhere to them strictly. Protecting yourself and maintaining emotional health is vital in dealing with challenging relationships. Lastly, in relationships characterized by constant criticism and judgment, it is important to consider the effects of these behaviors on the relationship and, if necessary, distance yourself from such relationships. Respecting yourself and your relationships is key to building healthy and supportive connections. Section 8. Those who always prioritize their own needs. In this section, we will explore a common yet often overlooked issue in relationships: individuals who consistently prioritize their own needs over the needs of others. These people typically create imbalances in relationships and disrupt the dynamics of mutual respect and support. Individuals who always prioritize their own needs usually pursue unilateral benefits rather than engaging in reciprocal relationships. Interactions with such people often evolve into a pattern where one party constantly feels obligated to give more while the other always seems to be taking. Over time, this can lead to the depletion of the relationship and emotional weariness of one side. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of individual freedom and personal boundaries. In this context, dealing with people who consistently prioritize their own needs involves clearly defining and steadfastly maintaining your own boundaries. By recognizing and prioritizing your needs, you can establish a healthy balance in the relationship. When interacting with such individuals, clearly communicating your expectations for the relationship can help it progress more healthily. Open and honest communication fosters mutual understanding and respect, allowing both parties' needs to be met. Finally, if the relationship consistently relies on one party looking out for the other without change, it is important to reassess this imbalance and consider distancing yourself if necessary. Healthy relationships are built on mutual support, respect, and understanding, and are conducted in a manner where both parties are equally valued and important. By maintaining respect for yourself and your relationships, you can build a happier and healthier relational dynamic. In this video, we addressed common challenges in relationships and how to cope with them from a Stoic perspective. Establishing personal boundaries, maintaining emotional independence, and fostering open communication are essential for overcoming any difficulties we encounter in our relationships. Remember, healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, understanding, and support. If you found this video informative and wish to follow more content, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section to stay connected with us. Ensure you're notified about our new videos by clicking the bell icon to keep notifications on. We wish you success in building healthy and balanced relationships. See you in our next video. Goodbye.